My name's Becky, and I work with a company called Ontario Agri-Food Education. So my job is to help educate on topics in agriculture and food. And today we're going to talk about crop production and GMOs. Okay? So who has an idea of what a GMO might be? Perfect. Genetically modified organism. So think back to grade 9 science class. What is an organism? A living thing. Perfect. So something like a plant or an animal. And that living thing had its genetics modified or changed in some way. So that could mean that we take genes from one plant or animal and put it into another. Or maybe we take genes away from the other. So there are a variety of reasons why we want to do that, and most of it is to overcome the challenges that we face as we're trying to produce things like food. So let's say I have my plant here. What kind of a plant is this? Soybean, perfect. So soybeans are a very popular crop here in Ontario. So as I'm growing my soybean plant, what are some of the challenges that I might face over the growing season that would maybe hurt my plant or make it so that it makes less productive? We can turn that off. Weeds? Weeds is a perfect example. So if I have weeds growing in my field beside my soybean plant, they are competing for the nutrients that my plant needs to grow. So if I want to get rid of those weeds, I can spray what is called a herbicide. And herbicide is designed to kill the plants. So if I want to kill the weeds, I can spray. Do I want to hurt my soybean plant? The soybean plant is how I'm making my profit. Okay? So through genetic modification, we can create soybeans that are actually resistant to herbicides. So that means I can spray herbicides on my field and I kill the weeds. But my soybean plant or my other crop that is herbicide resistant, it's still going to produce excellent. Okay? What else might I face besides pests and bugs? Definitely. There are lots of insects that like to eat the crops and create issues for farmers. So I'm going to pass around this corn cob, and you'll see that some of these kernels have actually been eaten by something. It would be a pest, like a bug or a worm that got in there and created damage to that corn cob. So genetic modification can actually create crops that are pest resistant, which means that the bugs are not going to be interested in harming that corn. And when you think about both pesticide and herbicide use, if I have crops that are resistant to pests, it means I need to spray less pesticides. Okay? And a pesticide is a chemical. So why would it be a good thing if I need to spray less pesticides? Yeah, it's going to positively impact the environment if I need to use less pesticides. It's also good for the farmer because pesticides and herbicides cost a lot of money. So it's important to think about those things. Farmers are already very conscious of how they affect the environment, and they need that environment to be healthy so that they can grow these crops to produce that food. So we've dealt with pests, we've dealt with weeds. What else might be a challenge that I might face? Come back to what our plants need to grow. Drought, so the weather conditions, right? This summer we had a drought, and it was very hard for some plants to grow. But genetic modification has actually created some strains of crops that are resistant to drought. And they've also created some that are resistant to cold weather. And this spring we had a lot of warm weather and then flash freeze or frost. And frost and cold weather is not good for little seedlings, and it's not good for blossom. So what they've done is they've taken a gene from a cold water fish, and they've taken the gene that allows that fish to survive in cold water and put it into plants. Things like potatoes. All I've done is I've taken picture a little potato seedling growing out of the ground, and all of a sudden frost comes. Well, that little potato seed, because it has this cold-resistant gene in it, survives. And that means that at the end of the year, my potato farmer gets money, and you get to eat French fries because there was still potatoes there. Okay, so it's ensuring that we have the food production that we need. So that's how easy it is. We can also improve the nutrition of food through genetic modification. So the example that I like to use is rice. In a lot of developing countries, people eat a lot of rice. That's a staple of their diet, the main thing that they eat. And what they can do through genetic modification is actually insert things like genes that help improve the vitamin content, mineral principles in that rice. So they can insert something that makes that rice have a higher vitamin A content, and vitamin A is good for your eye health. So what they've actually been able to do is reduce blindness in some of these developing countries just by inserting a little gene into a rice plant. Okay, so what were some of the things that we would use genetic modification for? To protect against weeds and pests that are challenges, also the weather, and we can also improve the nutrition and nutrients of crops. That's right. So those are some of the positive reasons why we would use genetic modification. But it is important to remember that GMOs are a controversial topic. Okay? Controversy means there are people that are for it and there are people that are against it, and there's a lot of discussion that happens around that topic. Okay? So GMOs are very positive in the fact that they allow us to still grow crops and overcome all those challenges like weather and pests and weeds. However, we always need to consider, are there issues that might arise? So there's a lot of research that's done to see, are these GMOs safe for us to eat? Are they okay for the environment? And it's always important when you're dealing with a controversial topic to consider all sides of the story. So I would encourage you, if you're going to look into more information about GMOs and do some more research on it, to really make sure that you're looking for a balanced perspective of things, and really consider what kind of decisions you want to make based on your informed knowledge that you've gained through that research. Okay. And you also need to consider that this is something that you're putting in your body. And as I said at the beginning, health is an important topic, so it's always good to know as much as you can. Thank you.